Also joining the show tonight, you've heard people talk about someone they wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley. If you met this guy in the A-gap, it's already too late. From Springfield College, it's the fullback himself, Arsen Shtefan. What's going on, man?
How you doing? How you doing?
Dude, I'm excited to get you on here. I told you before we got going, I have been able to watch at least, again, not like the whole film cut up, but I've been seeing the highlights this year. It's hard not to. You guys are playing a really fun brand of football, so thank you for coming on here. I'm excited.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I love it. You guys, you won your fifth New Mac title this season since 2017. Talk about the trajectory of this squad, where this team's going. I mean, you're still in the thick of it right now, so we're not talking retroactively, but talk about feels like this team is just still on the up.
I mean, we just have a bunch of we have a older squad, a bunch of fourth years and fifth years because of COVID, so it all kind of just lined up that way. And we're just kind of just taking it where it goes. The momentum. It's a momentum train right now, so we're just kind of riding that and seeing where it's going to take us. We're just taking it one week at a time, and keep winning games hopefully. So
The momentum
that's kind of where we're at
train
right
is
now.
a good way to put it. And watching you reminds me of a guy that they used to call A Train, my friend.
I know that is. Yeah.
As someone else who also wore 40 throughout playing ball, I mean that was my guy that I loved watching play, and that's what it is with you. And before we get talking about your team in this playoff run, how about not one but two 1,000-yard seasons for you, my man? First of all, congrats. But talk to me about what has allowed you to achieve that kind of success on the field when it comes to your support system, your teammates, coaches, family, kind of that deal. But also, personally, your physical and mental preparation, what goes into that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, earlier this season, really, I had a lot of self-confidence issues. Just trying to meet expectations that, I really didn't think I was going to meet. But it was really just my support system, like you said, that, had my back, and my mom, my dad, especially my dad has, given me the utmost confidence to, be the best person I could be on and off the field. And I think what I try to do off the field kind of just helps me on the field because, being on that field is just 2 hours of football. You don't think about anything else.
Oh yeah.
So just having that mindset of just like erasing everything that's happening right now in your life and just playing football for the next 2 hours kind of helped me this year and last year. But I think working wise, I got to give all my credit to my offensive line.
Absolutely.
They do the dirty work. Um, yeah, so I mean, obviously, 1,000 yards both seasons is pretty cool, but
Mhm.
I honestly have to give it to my offensive line for that credit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, and you're right for saying that. You're right on for saying that. But they do the dirty work. You are by no means clean by the end of these games either, my friend. And I know you guys aren't playing on too many grass fields, but I would like to imagine if you were, that jersey would be pretty tattered at this point and pretty dirtied
yeah,
up.
I like that for sure.
Good.
I do.
Good. And that mindset is certainly worked out for you. Not many fullbacks run for 1,500 yards over the course of a season, man. And I think for me, and like I told you, I've been able to tune in more this year than I have in the past to the Springfield squad. But how would you describe the way this offense plays, not schematically, but just the way you guys play to someone who has never watched a snap of Springfield football?
I mean, we always preach physicality as an eraser.
I
You
like
know,
that.
everything we do 100%, 100%, 100 miles per hour. We start fast, we finish faster. It just attitude and effort. That's all we can control. We kind of just control the controllables and just run our offense. And we we know every time we go into a game that we have the upper hand because our offense is just unknown. It's no one really knows what it is.
Hmm.
Um, so it's kind of just like, all right, we're just gonna out physical the team that we're gonna play, and that's what we've been doing, and that's what we're gonna continue on doing. So
And it's been
Yeah.
working, and half the challenge is, like you said, is figuring it out. But once you figure it out, then guess what? You have to actually go out and stop the damn thing, and that's proven to be a difficult task for a lot of squads, to say the least. And now you've got a lot of coaches probably smiling from ear to ear right there. Many of the guys on your staff, you just rattled off like 4 of kind of those program like core value type deals. Those mantras were awesome, by the way. Like physicality is an eraser. That is sick. I love that. There's some really good nuggets in there. But talking about that offense, I think people typically associate that style of offense as one that's going to wear a team down, right? Over the course of 4 quarters, you got guys that are built like you in the backfield that are going to be incredibly physical and wear defenses down, that front 7. But I think that certainly can be the case for the offense over there in Springfield. But what I've seen is that it feels like this is an offense and kind of a style that is a big play waiting to happen almost every single play, and not so much one that just relies on wearing you down over the course of the game. I go back to, I think it was the Western New England game, and one of those first plays from scrimmage, you bust through right up the middle and take that one into the house, and it's like, wait a minute, this team doesn't need 3 quarters to get going. They can get it right from the jump. Talk about that and kind of the explosive nature, at least how I perceive it, of this offense.
Man, I mean, we just have studs all around. Like I said, we have an older group, especially on the offense. All of our skill positions are seniors or grad students. So even our running backs, number 10, number 24, Blaine and Dante,
Yeah.
they have that explosive ability. Number 42 too, Joe C. He also has that, so we all have that experience too. We're 2-3 year starters. So it's just like we know what we have to do each and every game. The game plan is roughly the same for every opponent.
Oh, yeah.
We, like I said, physicality is an eraser. So there's not much changing for our offense. It's just getting that chemistry going, and I mean just trusting that engine up front, the offensive line, and making big plays.
Trust the engine. I like that too. I got one of our new t-shirts here at D1R, but I think the next one is going to have physicality of the array. That might be on the back instead of the D1R logo, and maybe I'll cut you in on some royalties. I guess we can work out details down the line, or whoever we need to attribute that to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
but we can talk some playoff ball too, because that's what we're here to talk about, right? And you guys, you're averaging about 500 yards of offense per game, roughly, and then only 40 of them coming through the air right now for you guys. The style of play that you guys have endorsed, that's one thing to do in the regular season, and I think people love to clown the old school offenses, right? Before Harding went and did it at the D2 level last year, there was a lot of outside critics of the flex bone and the way they run things over there in Searcy, Arkansas, and we've seen a resurgence of this style, and more importantly, we've seen some very talented teams like you guys that are combining, you talked about that new school explosiveness with the old school kind of mentality, and we've seen a lot of that. But to come into the playoffs and you experience almost that same level of success against a really quality opponent over there in UMass Dartmouth, what does that do for the confidence and belief of this football team moving forward?
I mean, we kind of just take every week like it's just any other week. Like I said, we have a really old senior heavy group. So we have been to 3 NCAA tournaments before this.
Yeah.
We've lost, we've won. So we know what it takes to win games in the NCAA tournament. And I think just us being all older, we know what it takes, like I said, and we kind of just took it like another game, like it was just another roadblock in the way from our our goal, winning that national championship. And I'm sure all 16 teams have that same goal. So it's just doing the things we can to get there.
Yeah, well, you guys want it more. At least that's what it looked like on Saturday, the way y'all were playing. And I think you mentioned, like, winning those conference titles, obviously getting you those automatic berths into the playoffs. And you've maybe, in your eyes, come up short at a couple of different points where people would consider it a very successful season, but you guys know you got more left in the tank. And so for you to be that close to achieving some of those goals and to have that hunger to come back, I'm sure is a big-time motivator for this squad. And you guys are up 21-7 at the end of the first quarter, right? And I think we talked about that style of offense early on. It's certainly nice for, I don't care what kind of offense you're playing. If you're up multiple scores at the end of the first quarter, that feels pretty good. But for you guys in particular, what does that do offensively? How comfortable does that make you moving throughout the rest of the game when it comes to maybe the pace of your play, eating up some of that clock and going on these 8-9 minute drives down the field? I mean, it's got to feel a really comfortable position for you guys.
Yeah, obviously, running the ball every play, it chews up the clock. So just naturally, the clock's our friend when we're winning. But
Yeah.
we try to be as tempo as possible, regardless of the score. Obviously, in the fourth quarter, it changes a little bit.
Yep. Okay.
But for pretty much the entire game, it's the same tempo. We don't really take our foot off the gas at all.
Good.
So yeah,
I like that. No, I like that. I think that's important because, yeah, you start slowing down on drives and you start playing uncharacteristically, right? Why change it if it
yep,
ain't broke? Then and you're up,
exactly.
two scores. Don't switch things up. But were there any moments throughout the course of this year that you guys maybe had to come from behind from a decent deficit? And if so, how did you guys do that? Did you stray away from kind of that tempo or some of that style, or does it stick right to it?
No, same style, same attitude, same same mindset. I
Good.
mean, yeah, it just we know what we have, and we're gonna give it to them.
Absolutely. I think you guys have put the nation on notice this year and years in the past. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about this weekend. You and I know the challenge you guys have going up to Cortland, defending national champs. What do you know about this Red Dragon squad, and what has the messaging been like early on in the week as far as how you treat this one?
I mean, it's just like I said, it's just like any other game. Obviously, we know they're talented. They're the defending national champions. And this is what we want. This is what we preach every day when we go to practice. This is what we want to compete for. So this is a great way to see where we're at as a team. And this is a great test for us, both mentally and physically, because it's a long season. So I'm really excited. Sophomore year, this is our first NCAA tournament game actually. So I mean, it's great to be back in Portland,
Mm-hmm.
to try to see if we can get a win.
I was going to bring that one up. You beat me to it. Stat that. I love it. But that's all I got for you, Arsen. I appreciate your time, brother. I will. You can bet that one pair of eyeballs watching this weekend will be myself. I'm tuned in. I got no horse in this race. We've had guys from both squads on the show. I've really enjoyed both of you guys, but I'm pumped for a really good ball game, dude. So best of
Yeah.
luck to you guys.